Thoughts on cold DM outreach on social media? Do you have any strategies for it? No, I mean we do just we just do it for Facebook pages for tree contractors because that's all that. Sorry, I just stopped share. I didn't mean to do that. But tree contractors aren't on most other social media platforms. At least, well, I'm not on Instagram, and I don't care to be. So I'm not sure if they're there. But most tree guys are on Facebook, and so we do it through High Level. I'll just show you. I'll grab the screen. We just do social posts through High Level, through Tree Care HQ Social Planner or whatever. And we have a specific way of doing it. Let me show you very quickly. Facebook, God damn it. Right here. All right, so my VAs do this, but they just go into the social planner, and it's what we basically do is we when they have a you see how it's got we're like at mentioning them or checking in or whatever. So you can see that we basically what we do is just publish a post on our Tree Care HQ page, and it basically sends a message, a tag, a notification to the page, the Facebook page for the company that tells them that they've been mentioned by us. And so that's what we do. And then we do everything through cold email, SMS, and now voice AI is how we do most of our outreach and our communication. This is just another way, once the listing has been published, to just remind them that we're there. And then we do sometimes they will comment via Messenger, and I will take the conversation just enough to get them off of Facebook into High Level via SMS, email, or voice, or Zoom calls for that matter. Because I don't like to run my business in any social media platform. Honestly, I don't. I can't stand Facebook, to be honest with you. But I do find that it's useful for tagging their pages because most tree guys are on Facebook. That's the only strategy I use for social media. Brian, what about you?
So there's a tool that I've used in the past. It's pretty good. It's called Flowchat, and it integrates directly within High Level. There's a lot of other stuff it can do, but basically it can go to a Facebook page, or an Instagram page, LinkedIn page, Twitter page, individual profile, mind you. And then it can scrape all of the followers, throws them into kind of a DM list that you can then reach out to or try to connect with people. There's an entire strategy about this. I've gone through a couple courses and a couple different masterminds that leverage that strategy quite a bit. Um, there probably is a way more in-depth conversation than what we'd have time for today
Sure.
with, but uh, the quick and dirty of it is be care like, yes, it does work. It's incredibly effective. Hand raising posts work really well. Like, hey, I've got room for 5 more people, depending on your niche. I've got room for 5 more people. Raise your hand. Let me know if you're interested in doing that. You'll see this all the time with people that are doing coaching, strategic stuff, all that
Mhm.
kind of stuff on Facebook. The caveat to that is when you're in people's DMs, do not abuse it, right? Like the worst thing that you're going to do is you get the hi, sir. And then you're like, yeah, what the fuck do you want?
Right. You know a pitch
Right.
is
And you're
coming.
like, all right, come on, get it over with.
That's right.
Immediately, like as soon as if someone friends me and immediately they're hitting me in the DMs and stuff like that, they're immediately banned.
Yeah.
Like I have a zero tolerance policy with that. So it's be respectful if you are going to do DM outreach, like actually like carry on a little bit of a conversation before you immediately start moving in for asking for the sale. That said, ask for the sale, go for
Yeah.
no, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, and here's a little
that
tip.
goes back to the sales training we looked at. Yeah.
That's right. And here's a little tip. Don't think that just by going to the person that you're DMing, going to their profile and liking the last 300 posts that they've published, that you're going to get their like buy favor, curry favor with them. So where they're going to buy your stupid offer. And I'm not saying that specifically to whoever asked this question, who's IFA. I'm not saying that to you specifically. Why I'm saying that is because all the time I try to stay out of Facebook, period, because I don't like it. But I do still check on it fairly often, and I'll see that there will be like in my notifications where somebody from India or somewhere in the world liked about 30 of my posts, and then there's a DM, and it's like, do you think that works? Or maybe it does. Maybe that's why they keep doing it. I don't know, but flattery, just liking my posts is not enough flattery for me to want to then listen to your stupid pitch. You know what I mean? So just be smart about it, be tactful about it, right? Have some strategy to it if you're going to do it. That's why we do it the way I'm showing you here, because before we ever try to pitch any tree contractor, any one of our services, we have developed a lot of rapport and goodwill. We've provided them multiple communication opportunities where we haven't pitched them a goddamn thing. We ask them questions about their business. We give them something of value, a directory listing that we optimize, and then ask them to review it for their approval. So that's what the booked appointment is. That is the listing delivery appointment, which is the start of the sales conversation. This is after several days of multiple contacts back and forth between, it's automated, but between my agency and the contact at the tree care company. And so by the time we deliver the listing to them, they don't feel like they're going to be pitched to, because we haven't pitched to them yet. And we've contacted them multiple times. And so they're a lot more open to it. And I tell the contractors on the call, I had two today, actually. There, you can see them in my calendar. I had one at 7 or 8 o'clock this morning and one at 12 p.m. And when I get on those calls, I tell them right off the bat, I say, listen, we're going to do two things on this call. Number one, we're going to review your listing, make sure everything is accurate and to your liking. And number two, I'm going to point out some issues that we identified when we were optimizing your listing that are preventing you from getting jobs within the areas that you claimed you want to get jobs within. Does that make sense? Should we continue this conversation? And I do exactly what I'm doing now. I'd start nodding my head even if I'm on a phone and they can't see me, it's just habit. I do it. And now not once have I had a tree contractor say, no, I'm not interested, and hang up on. They stick around. We review their listing. That's usually a 3 to 5 minute conversation. And then after that, that's when I transition. I say, okay, now we're going on the second part of this call. I told you I was going to identify some issues or address some issues that we identified while we were optimizing your listing. And then present you with some low cost options to help you to start to resolve these issues. I'm not telling them we're going to solve them for them, because now we're talking about higher retainer value services. I'm talking about low cost front end stuff, simple low cost things that we can apply to your campaign, right? Your company right now, to help you to get better results in your local area. And why do I do that? Well, because I want to hook them on something low cost so that it's easy for them to say yes. And then once we get them in under whatever service that they originally agreed to, then we can show that we can deliver as promised. We continue that kind of more communication with them in the early stage after the sale, because you don't want buyer's remorse. Like a lot of times, I know a lot of agencies that when they close a client, it's like they go quiet and dark afterwards. And you always get clients second guessing whether they made the right choice. And so we continue the kind of additional conversation through the kind of delivery of the whatever service it is that they ordered initially. And then through that process, again, we build more goodwill, more trust, and then we can ascend or start pitching ascension services to them. So more robust marketing services that are going to help them to get even better results. It's a very long process that I've developed, starting with, Brian knows, 4 or 5 years ago when we were in our little mini mastermind together, man. It's evolved so much.
You've implemented quite a bit.
Yeah, and it works, man. Again, guys, think about how any of you guys here probably get a lot of pitch emails. Or you work with clients to get a lot of pitch emails. And it's the way that people approach that is almost like it's offensive. You know what I mean? Like, and so if you're just smart about it, which is the angle that we take, like, again, we developed through the whole directory process, the whole DHA program is specifically to do this so that we can build rapport and get trust from the contact before we ever present them with an offer. And it makes all the world of difference. It really, really does. And by the way, a lot of the times on that listing delivery call, they're not ready for whatever services I have to offer. And that's fine. I tell them right up. Again, at the beginning of the call, I tell them, look, you're not obligated to purchase anything. I'm going to present you with some simple low-cost options that will help you to start to resolve these issues. And if it's not the right timing for you right now, hey, the door is open to you. We'll be here whenever you're ready. And then what happens? They get off the call, and then I plug them into a nurture sequence that is specifically an email sequence that is pushing it's a problem agitate email sequence, a problem agitate solution email sequence that pushes the pain of what we identified on the call. So they're already aware of it. Guys, you understand NLP, that creates an open loop. That is now something that's going to nag at them, whether they want to admit it or not. It's going to nag at them until it gets resolved. And so now I've got them in their nurture sequence that just reminds them, hey, we're here. And it's not a pushy sequence, right? So, and then they can go from one sequence to another to another. And through that process, we can do other things like add, for example, a rep video, David Sprague's rep video. We can reach out to them a week after the call and say, by the way, we decided to add some more value to your listing free of charge. We added a rep video, or what we call as a review commercial. That's how we call it. We say it to tree contractors. Here, go check out your listing. Tell me what you think. What did we do? Again, we're not asking for anything. We're just back in their inbox, telling them we're there again and showing them that we can do things for their business to make them look better, right? It's a great strategy, guys. Because I mean, even 6 months later, I'll have a contractor contact me and say, "Hey, I'm ready to get started." When I haven't, other than automated emails and stuff, I haven't had any communication with them in 6 months. And it snowballs. And so over time, all of a sudden, you'll start landing more and more sales from work that you did 6 or 8 months ago. No kidding. So